Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to day 4 of 31 and 31. And this time, guys, special guest. His name is Zach. He's hanging out. But anyway, so just finished watching Pandorum, and I remember when I first saw this, I wasn't the biggest fan of this movie, and like kind of subsequent watches, I've kind of liked it a little more. I like Ben Foster's performance in the movie. I definitely like Dennis Quaid's performance in the movie, but it feels like he's going to be in a lot more than he actually is. And I think sometimes the story kind of gets buried under its own weight of itself, and maybe that's where some of the issues that I have with it when it comes to watching this film. Again, it's very interesting, and like the source of the monsters that are in this movie is really interesting as well, and kind of where they go through. But it's still like, I don't know, like I feel like it still just kind of falls short of expectations of being like a really good sci-fi film. Like it's passable and it's serviceable for what it does, but it's not, it's just missing something for me, and I just can't put my mind on directly to where it went. Like the sets are pretty cool. It's shot relatively well. It has a good pacing to the movie. You know, it has some actually kind of scary scenes, even though I've only really seen it at home and not in a theater. You know, it's still like tension builds relatively well. But I feel like as we get closer and closer to the end of this movie, it just kind of falls apart and maybe gets a little bit too convoluted for what it's trying to do, right? Maybe in some ways, if it was a little more straightforward in what it was trying to present, then maybe I would gravitate towards it just a little bit more than I actually do. But I think it's still a relatively serviceable movie for everything that goes on in the movie. Like, it has some really fun scenes, and it's got some that some might call kind of brutal scenes that are in the movie as well. I definitely think that if you're looking for like, it's not going to be like a classic or anything like that. It's just kind of an interesting piece and a decent movie, right? I think it's not bad, but it's just missing what it needs to be like, oh yeah, I think of Pandorum, when I think of like sci-fi movies and everything like that. I don't know if a lot of people really do think about this movie. Maybe that's what it is. Like, after everything's said and done, like it definitely once again feels kind of forgettable. And I think that's the one thing that's, I would say, is like the negative thing for me personally. So, decent film. It's a 3 out of 5 blades in the back. I still think that like I'm willing to watch it again and again. Like every now and then I'll come back to it to see if I still feel like it. So, and again, I don't think that it's like a terrible movie. It's not anything other than just right in the middle. That's why it gets a 3 out of 5. I mean, that's kind of it. So we'll see what pops up next in the docket for tomorrow for more sci-fi horror.